In this video, we're going to take a look at the Ripple secret weapon. Is it the strategic acquihire? How about the investments? It's none of that. We're going to take a look and it may shock you. And it all starts right now. Let's go. Chip off the block on the chain. You can learn more about us by going to www.onthechain.io. That's onthechain.io. If you scroll to the bottom, there is a sign up form and you can sign up for some new updates. A lot of cool initiatives we're rolling out very, very soon in the future. And you'll see the other content contributors that are also be releasing content on this channel. We also have another YouTube channel, which you can also click and sub to below. And that's for our live streams. Now, let's put our helmets on. I want to jump headfirst into the shallow end. This is some interesting stuff. Boom, look at this. Ripple Spring launches crypto fiat payments that integrate into any app. This isn't just any old news. This, to me, is the biggest news probably this year outside of MoneyGram. Without a doubt, this is their secret weapon. Well, let's find out a little bit more about it. So they're talking to Ethan Beard here. He says the suite of services includes an Xpring software development kit. So this Ripple Spring is launching this platform. It makes it possible for developers to integrate fiat and cryptocurrency payments into any application. Let me say that again. Integrate fiat, any fiat, and cryptocurrency payments. So what we saw on the other side, when I say the other side, I'm talking about institutional level, banks, companies like MoneyGram that are moving lots of money from point A to point B. Even though they do it through a consumer, this is really consumer time right here. We're talking about anything. You know, this could be easily introduced into an Amazon, you name it, any sort of a shopping sort of a platform, anything that accepts a payment will be using this SDK. So Spring SDK allows you, the developer, to use XRP Ledger simply and in any programming language you want, Beard said. What takes a developer now 100 lines of code to do a transaction on XRP Ledger, using Spring SDK cuts down that by 80%. So this is just massive. This allows developers to be able to really take what used to be long and arduous and laborious. Now it's very, very simple. And that's usually the case with these SDKs. Now, it's already been built on open source protocols, but this platform functions more like an Amazon Web Services. You know it is AWS. Beard said developers could go download the code and run it themselves, or they could go to Spring and plug into the service. So people already know how to use AWS, right? Most of the websites you visit that are enterprise level on the web today are running on AWS. So Beard envisions the platform being used to enable micropayments in industries like media and gaming. Ideally, we think Spring platform can work for any type of payment, Beard said. Platform is a new vertical for Spring, which has been an investment arm for Ripple, and that's kind of how we got to know them, building a network of companies and use cases around XRP for a little over the year. Something else you'll be able to look at down below here will be I'm going to go ahead and link to this. This is the Ripple website. This is their official announcement. And again, this lays out the case really nice about unlocking the economic value, realizing the internet of value through a developer ecosystem. And really, this is one of the things that was missing. Now, when they were taking a look, when they were investing in companies, when Spring was out there making some strategic investments, one of the things they realized was there wasn't really much of an ecosystem. And if you're able to take and cut down the code by 80% through an SDK, that's actually massive. So it talks about how to get involved. And this is also too on Coil. Spring dumped this out there too. This is phenomenal. So this is on Coil. And the next chapter is Spring. I'm not going to go through the whole thing, but I just wanted to bring this to your attention. I feel for myself personally, this is the biggest news of 2019 because this really, when we talk about mass adoption into apps. And if you want to get mass adoption, how you do is you put it into a payment app that has 100,000 people already using it. You put it into a payment app where there's 1.5 million people. You build an adoption that way. It's one thing for grassroots, and you're going to bring people to the playing field, and you're going to hope that they're going to come to you. But it doesn't necessarily work that way. What really works is that you create adoption through a built-in sort of a network already. If there's an app that has the amount of users, and let's just say anybody can use this SDK, you might have someone like one of the payment processors using this, someone like a Visa or MasterCard. But let's go on a lower level. You know those apps you can sign up for, and you spend your money like you normally do. You hook up a credit card to it. Well, this will enable them to then go ahead and accept any sort of fiat. They're not going to be limited by one through this SDK. And the other beautiful part of this is they're going to be able to really make an impact because and think about the person using the app. The person who's using the app has no idea what it is. All they know is it works. And this is what I've always said. They just know that it works. So if you got 100 million people using something, if you have 3 million people using an app, let's suppose Instagram, because you can buy stuff on there. Well, let's suppose they build sort of a bridge there and a payment setup, and boom, they enable cryptocurrency. And let's say that your favorite Instagram person you follow on there, right? There's a huge opportunity. And I think a lot of the use cases for this, we're just getting started. This is pretty exciting. I'm just ecstatic and over the moon about this one because to me, this is the single greatest news that's happened. I mean, I'll put it right up there with the rebrand for the liquidity rebrand, ditching some of those names that rolled right off your tongue. I'm not going to get into them, but you know what I'm talking about. XRapid, XVIA, right? Which one did what? Which one had XRP? Forget about that. It's all on demand liquidity because that's what Ripple does. And I see a lot of things falling into place this fourth quarter. And the same with MoneyGram. This is massive. This SDK is really one of the first things to make the ecosystem better. And when it becomes easier and better and you can program in any language and you're basically removing all of the friction points. So what I want you to do now is I want you to check us out on thechain.io. And when you go over there, sign up, scroll to the bottom, look at that. Go ahead and if you like what you see, please go ahead and smash that likes up. If you don't, it's okay. Keep it to yourself, or you can put a comment. But I love the comments. I love hearing from you guys. What is your thought about this? Is this massive? Is this the craziest, most awesome thing you've seen since MoneyGram, or did I get it wrong? Is there something else that's bigger and better? You're gonna let me know. I'm looking forward to hearing your comments. That's my take. What's yours? Chip